the thing. No matter what you're doing, no matter how big of the thing you're doing, I believe you can get it done. So, how are you all doing today, my good peeps, my good fellows? Let's get this that way. There, now you can actually see kind of what's going on. We are once again, helping Azmodan0588 learn programming via Python. Why he's learning Python is because it's easy and he heard about it. So that's what's happening. And like last episode, I do have to talk for 15 minutes while he waits 15 minutes because he does the intro and I don't have an intro for that programming guy yet. I probably should. There's actually somebody on Fiverr who does intros for who does music for video games, but I'm like, man, I might just hire that person because their music is awesome and make like a 3-minute intro. However, I also need a custom 3-minute intro active Fireball, so I have no idea. By the way, guys, do you know that I'm selling shirts? They're pretty damn cool. It's a unicorn with a rainbow that says, remember you can do the thing. I don't have it wearing. I'm not wearing it right now. I am in the process of making an extension to sell the shirts. They just take forever because making extensions are horrible. And as well, oh god, haven't done the extensions for a little bit. I don't know. So let's do that and that so I can get those. Stop. I get it. I want this thing to go away. There's that. And there's that. Alright, there we go. Awesome, wonderful. So now that won't show up. So, yeah, it'll be fun. So what I'm going to talk about for 13 more minutes, huh? And again, I have my laptop to the right, which is why I keep looking over. Hopefully my laptop does not freeze like it did this morning. Again, if you were chatting, trying to talk to me, and I didn't talk to you, I am very sorry. So we're gonna do that. Well, x is less than 4. Print x plus equals 1. Okay. Oh, they have tries and exceptions, and then classes and functions. I am not ready for classes, man. Somebody on my stream yesterday was like, dude, when you go to classes, you really should just like go to C#. I'm like, I might. But I probably won't, because as you're learning, you should learn and just stick with one variable. I mean, not one variable, oh my god. One language, and then from there, once you have one language under your belt, then you should, do things. Alright, so I'm going to put this in chat really quickly. Watch both of our streams at the same time. multi-twitch.tv/Azmodan0588/that programming guy. There we go. Awesome. Watching both of our streams at the same time. So Azmodan has 11 minutes and 30 seconds left on his intro while he's waiting for more people to conglomerate on his stream. So we have 11:30 minutes. Viewers who are lurkers who are lurking, viewers who are viewing, and bots who are botting. How are you doing all today? Let's just have a nice friendly chat, huh? Look into my eyes. Are you ready for this level of eye contact yet? Are we at the depth of this relationship we can just keep staring at each other while we look into each other's eyes? Are we? No idea, but I'm glad you're doing fine. Let's get my glasses back on because I can't see without them. Well, I can, but like, this is like how far, like once it's like, or like right here is when images become clear. Everything after that becomes blurry. So I am nearsighted, which fucking sucks. Azmodan! You can't handle the eye contact. You know, I actually have to say, I was on the gaming subreddit and the lady did a cosplay of somebody from League of Legends and she stared into the camera with her ice blue contact lenses and I had to look away. It's so weird. Like, even though this is virtual and you don't even know me, like, it's weird. But I'm glad I was able to affect somebody. I should do that probably. Because I'm on your chat right now, but I guess I should. Yeah, I don't know if it's Jenna But let's just go to Azmodan, so I can be a viewer on your stream. And then I can just monitor my chat on the multi-Twitch. That programming guy. Oh my god, I can't type worth shit today. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what cosplay it was. I just know it was some League of Legends where I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Let's unmute you. And on the mixer, on my mixer, let's make Chrome all the way quiet so no one can hear anything, which it is. All right, so, not big enough. How do you do this? There you go. Okay. All right. So I have your Twitch, I have your chat, and I have my chat up. All right. Now I can monitor both chats. Now I'm also a viewer on you. Do I count as a viewer? I don't know if I count as a viewer. Anyway, we have 9 minutes left, my good viewers. Although now I guess, yeah, no, now I can't even see how many viewers I have. That sucks. Well, I guess I could. I could open up a third window. Why is technology so hard, guys? So that's Azmodan chats. That's, yeah, you probably do count as a viewer. Okay, that's cool. Oh well, I'll live. This is fun. Monitor both chats. This will be interesting. I'm glad I have a laptop here to help me. I think what I would like is actually have a second laptop or something, so I could watch my dashboard as well. Oh, I'm a dumbass. I can do this. New. Twitch.tv. I could just have another window and have it above my other window. Guys, I got this. I got this. Thanks for being concerned, but I got this. I got this shit. Create a dashboard. And we are just going to we are going to pop out my chat. There we go. Wait, I don't want to pop out my chat. That's not what I wanted. Oh, man, I have so many things open right now. All right, I don't want to pop out my chat. I want to pop out my stats. Like, I don't think it matters, but I'm like, I kind of want to know how many viewers I have. You know? I think that's good to know. For streaming, I'm just using regular old OBS for streaming. And I'm not paying for anything. Was I paying for something? I don't remember. But I'm just using straight old OBS. That's about it. Oh, can I pop out your chat? Oh, I can't pop out your chat, can I? Can I? I can pop out your chat, Azmodan. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, this will make reading everything easier. Oh my god, this is great. Oh, yeah, no, OBS is also free. Yeah, OBS is also free. I just have a second laptop here because I only have one monitor for my computer. So I only have one monitor for my computer. So I use my laptop as a second screen, and then on there I have actually a pretty good layout right now. So yeah, that program guy, hey, go me. I see, yeah, OBS is awesome. There we go. So I have 5 viewers right now, which is great. Alright, we have about 5 minutes, 30 seconds left, my good people. Nightbot was just being awesome. So if you want, go ahead, click on that link. You can go view me and Azmodan stream at the same time. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. We're gonna have some fun. And I wonder if the people are gonna join us who did before and help us with Python. I see. I stuck with OBS because I learned it from my Haskell streams. And then I kept with it for my gaming streams because Streamlabs OBS has delinearization, which makes the streaming more choppy, and makes the final image more choppy. So I just stuck with OBS because there's no way to get rid of delinearization in Streamlabs. But that's me. Yeah, and also, yeah, so I use it to record, and then I'd use Lightworks to edit the videos. Yeah, it's a huge thing with delinearization. In fact, that's actually what both Shiny Zenny and Lethargic Watto spoke to me about. So I just switched to OBS, and also for me, since I was used to OBS already, I just kept with it. All right, guys, we have 4 minutes till Azmodan starts. I'm actually gonna go to the bathroom really quickly because I ate too much food and I drank too much water. So I'll be right back. Everyone, don't leave. I need to go into my chat and go BRB bathroom. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Leave me alone. OBS. All right, everyone, I am back. Thank you so very much for waiting. Azmodan has 2 minutes left before he starts. So I was just talking to somebody, and he's like, man, I don't want Diego to find the discoveries before I do. We were talking about Skies of Arcadia. And I'm like, with all the ships that are around, with the accessibility of getting ships that you can fly everywhere, it's like, there should be more than one person looking for treasure, right? I don't know. Games are really interesting because you can't really... Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's Assassin's Creed. But, I don't know. I find it a lot of games, at least the earlier games, obviously, have a city, but the city is sparsely populated. Or we can talk about Rim Elm in Legend of Legaia, where there should be no such economy whatsoever, because probably everyone trades for everything. How did they even get, like... May was making me clothes. Where did she get the supplies for clothes? Who are they trading with? Yes, population is low in Skies. There's so many plot holes in Skies as well. It's so stupid. It's so crazy. They need I don't know. I don't know, but anyway, we have about 30 seconds left, my good viewers. My good lurkers who are lurking, and viewers who are viewing, and watchers who are watching, botters who are botting. And where is my... There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Cool. Alright, guys. We got this in the bag. We're going to have some food. It's going to be great. We're all going to learn so much. Alright, so 20 seconds left, guys. 10. And so we'll get started. So I'm going to be quiet quickly for Azmodan's intro, and then we will get started, and you guys should be able to hear my Discord. So, I mean, I guess I do have some people who might not be watching Azmodan's stream as I'm watching it, so I guess there is that to worry about. So,
hey there.
Hello, my good sir.
All right, so you ready?
I'm always ready.
Good to know. Ooh, actually, I gotta change something.
Go ahead, change all the stuff. Not ready for classes. I see.
Yeah, that's where I kind of tuned in. I'm like, might as well write something down as a message.
I see. Yeah, mostly just because classes in Python and objects in Python, and I have no idea. I know you don't know what I mean when I say classes and objects yet. I think it feels like they were added to Python after the fact, and they're like, oh crap, we need to have objects and classes in here. What are we gonna do? So it's weird, but I'm like, you're doing Python, you're sticking with Python, we're gonna stick with Python. Are you ready to learn?
I am ready to learn.
Yes, let's learn.
Nice.
You have no idea how to start this. Okay, so last episode, time we were here, you learned a bit about ifs, else's, you made a little thingy that got input from the user, you printed things to the console, called them a pussy if they didn't want to jump, and then if they jumped, they died, which so you're fucked if you did it and fucked if you did not.
Yeah. Died of starvation, too. Not even of hitting a floor. They just died of starvation.
They died of starvation. That's a long time to fall. I wonder if the body would, if something weird would happen to the body if you just started to fall for that long in the first place.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't think there's ever been a test to do that.
Yeah, So we are going to learn a bit more. So the if and else thing is called a control structure. There's a bit more to that. We're going to go on about loops. So loops are kind of what it sounds like, where you're like, if you need a certain kind of code, certain part of code to execute X many times or a defined number of times, we can do that. And you're also going to learn, I think we're going to go a bit more Booleans, and then I'm hoping we will end up with a choose the number guess. So it's basically, you would go, here's my guess, and the computer would go, are you high or low, and you would guess a number. Basically.
Okay.
So, to start out, we're going to go about a bit more on the conditionals. So, it's also called branching too. Some people like to call branching, conditionals. So we had the, before that, I have to back up a little bit. So one thing I didn't tell you last stream, because we ran out of time, was what goes into the if statements. So you did a simple kind of like if answer equal yes, something like that, right? You did something like that. This, right, because Python doesn't use parentheses, that is a conditional. So basically, we ended up with that one. That's conditional. So it says is if answer is equal to yes. And so that's conditional. So answer is equal to yes actually gives you back a Boolean variable, Boolean value, and that Boolean value is then looked at to see if it's true or false. So there's multiple ways to get a Boolean value, a true or false value. Is this number less than 5? Is this number greater than 10? Is the result from this function, which returns a Boolean, true or false?
Yeah, it's just like the if statements in Excel.
Yes, exactly. So, we have if x is greater than 5, if x is less than or equal to 10. So we have less than or equal, we have greater than or equal, so it's less than or equal to 6. If x is equal to 4, and I believe you can also then negate that, which is, because I know in other languages it's that's what it is. Then you can do if x does not equal 4, so the exclamation mark is does not. So you have multiple ways to compare things.
Okay.
And then you have and you have ors. So you could do like if x is, so if you want to test to see if the number is between 4 and like 7 and also include those numbers, you could do if x is greater than or equal to 4 and x is less than or equal to 7. If you want to see if the numbers are less than 4 or greater than 7, you could do if x is less than 4, I think it's or x is greater than 7. Now the spaces here are optional. I just add them because that makes it easier to see. So and ors actually have, like, you can actually make a table out of this to see when and is true and when and is false, and or is true and or is false. Because basically there's kind of two tests here. We have x is less than 4 and we have x is greater than 7. Those are actually two Boolean tests that return a Boolean answer. So to show you this Boolean table, which is kind of logic, so we're going to do and first. We're going to have value 1. We're going to make a really interesting table, value 2 and result. So this is the and. So if the value 1 is true and value 2 is true, what gets returned is true. If value 1 is true and value 2 is false, this actually does return false. Wait. Maybe it does. I'll get back to you on that. So basically we're making a table, and so this is saying false, F-A-L-S-E. Alright, so this is saying, for example, line 12, we're saying if the first test is true, and then we have a second test, if the second test is true and we're joining them with an and, like on line 7, the overall test will be true.
Okay.
Everything else is false. And the reason why everything else is false is because and is one or the other. So everything has to be true. And how I remember this is I think that and is very pessimistic. If it senses a false anywhere, it's going to be like, no, I'm done. It's a teenager.
Pretty much.
And is a teenager. So, or, I'm just going to copy all that. Or is almost the same. Where if it's true, 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 if basically, true, you are correct. So, or is very optimistic. These are like newborn parents when they first see their kid before they realize they don't get any sleep.
Yep.
Or is very realistic. Now, here's actually an interesting thing. In programming, there's something called an XOR. So it's basically XOR. XOR means one or the other, but not both. So in this case, true and true would actually return false. And so the OR that we use in English is an XOR in programming speak. Just an interesting thing to think about. And then you can chain multiple ands and ORs together. So if you go back to line 7, we could do or x is equal to 5. Now, as you can see, if you keep kind of chaining ands and ors, it gets really confusing. What's evaluated first, what's evaluated second, so we can use parentheses. That's going a bit too far. But we can basically chain ands and ors together, and this will return one Boolean value. And that Boolean value is then used in an if statement to be like, is this true or false? So we could actually store this. So we could go my Boolean. And then basically we can store the result of this whole entire expression into a variable called my Boolean.
Okay.
Also, the reason why true and false is called bool or Boolean is in reference to James Boole, who was I think logician. He did a lot of things in logic, basically. So yeah. So now with that, now kind of aimed with this knowledge of comparisons, equality, non-equality, with ands and ors, you're pretty much almost there. The only thing I'm confused about right now is there's something called short-circuited evaluation. So let's say if the and on line 15, if the and saw false, if short circuit evaluation is enabled in Python, it'll see just one false and it won't evaluate value 2. It'll see the first false and be like, I'm done. I'm done. Handy. Or is the same way, but with true. And so that way, and it's added, I forgot the exact situation when this works, but this is added to be like, if you have to do one test, and then you basically can't do the second test if test 1 is a true or false or some certain value. I think we'll get there.
I mean, that would just save on CPU usage, wouldn't it?
It would. I mean, yes, you are very correct. It would save on CPU usage because there's one less. And I'm going to do this really quickly. There's one less computation, but considering that with how fast CPUs are now, it doesn't really matter unless you're like in embedded programming. But yes, so I'm going to do this. So I just copied everything so I could comment them all out. So they're all commented now.
How did you do that like so quickly?
I copied everything to Notepad++, and then on Notepad++, I added a hash to the beginning of every line, and then I just copied it back here.
Okay.
Notepad++, yeah, so that's what I did, because I'm lazy and I don't know how to do it on this. So those are comparisons. Those is basically how you get a true or false value. So now, let's move on to loops. And actually, this loop is good because in video game development, there's something called a game loop, which we'll get to down the road, not right now. But basically, a video game is just one giant loop. I'll explain it anyway. Why not? Video games.
Sure.
So in video games, you have to, so basically you have a loop. At the start of the loop, it's loop. Get player input. So this is like, are they pressing up? Are they pressing down? Are they pressing left, right, A, B, that kind of thing. Update internals. So this is like, are they pressing up? If so, make them go, make their position one step further and change their sprite to this animation, play this sound effect, do this thing, and then it's update screen. And then that's it. Then it'll go back to the beginning. So this is a very rudimentary game loop, because you have to consistently see what the player's doing, update internals, and then update the screen. Okay. And for most video games, especially in the AAA area and space, updating the screen is the place that actually takes the most processing power. So probably you've noticed this if you're playing a video game. Like I know at least on the PlayStation 2, on the Star Ocean game, you get to this area that's really snowy, and the game will start to lag there. And the lag is not because probably the computation, but the drawing to the screen.
Oh, what was that game that was actually recently running GDQ that runs at about 5 seconds per frame because of how graphically intense it was on one of the Sega consoles?
I have no idea. I have not seen any. I have not seen all the games at GDQ.
Yeah, it was run recently. I think it's like something highlight or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious because they're even saying like this was never meant to go to it, and they just went all like over top with 3D graphics on a Sega, late Sega console. Hey, Nick Raptor. How's it going?
Hey, it's Nick Raptor. I know you.
Oh. Okay. Thank you for the sub for 6 months in a row.
Good for him. Good for you as well.
How you doing, buddy?
Wait. Lead pack for 6 months. Oh yeah, that's your bot.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we got loops. Well, no, we're starting loops. So there's two kinds of loops. There's a loop where you have to go I need to run this an infinite number of times until I tell you to stop, or an undefined number of times until you to stop. And then there's the loop of, I know how many times I want you to run. So we're going to start with the first one, because that is a bit easier. So this loop is called while. WHILE. And I'm going to enter everything so we get near the top of the list. While, so basically, WHILE, x is less than 5. Oh my god, right, there's no freaking... hate Python. Like, I'm fine, I like that I'm learning Python, but I'm still gonna say I hate Python.
Yeah, I know what that is.
While loops, did I do it right? I did right, okay, cool. So we also have an integer called x. Cool. And then we can say, while, oh god, how do we print things again? Yeah, we go print hello world. So, oh my god, what's going, oh right. No, yeah, doesn't print have these things?
Nope.
No? Right, they
Nope.
don't. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Python, why are you so Python-y? Okay. So basically, x is equal to 0. So now, the only other thing we have to do in this loop is go x equals 1. So what this does is this will go, at line 33, we initialize x to be 0. At 34, we go while x is less than 5. So with the conditions I showed you above, x is less than 5, so that would be true, because 0 is less than 5. We print hello world, and then we update x by 1. So now x is 1. And then we keep going until x is 5. And
Actually, I have
then...
a question for you, just on this as well, because this is just randomly popping in my head.
Go ahead.
Is there a way to put x into the message that's being printed so they can see, like, let's say we have it so it's like killing random mobs and it's just a text thing, and it's like while it's less than 5 it will just keep killing mobs, and then it'll just add 1, then it'll go to 2, then it'll go to 3, then it'll go to 4, then it'll go to 5, and then it'll stop.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, and I can tell you how to do that right now. I know I saw it before on Learn Python in Y minutes, and I'm gonna look at it again because I know it exists. But yeah, no, that is actually a great question, and we can do that. It just, where did I find it? Haha. Almost. Dot format. Okay, that's what it is. We use the dot format. So I'm going to print this in here really quickly. That's your phone.
Yep.
I need to go to this. If we go here, hello world. All right. So now I'm gonna let you try this. So what I did was I'm right now have a learn X in Y minutes. I've learned Python 3 in Y minutes. I looked up format. So here's what you do. So basically, let me first explain line 36, then you can edit line 35 to do what you need to do.
Okay.
So at the end of the string, we say because basically this is a string. It's called a string. This is a string, and it has functions. It's a string class, and the string class has functions. And I'm going to cut to classes not now, but it exists. It's a thing. You can do a dot stuff on it. So we're saying the name is going to be replaced with self.name. I'm going to remove this right now and just say that programming guy. And then the message is my message. There we go. Now it looks like stuff you can understand. So we're saying name is TPG. Message is just says my message. So this would actually say, this would actually print out TPG that space my message. That's what the output would be.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be name and message. You could also do this. Both work. It's up to you what you want to do. So in Python, at least, indexes start at 0. So TPG is index 0. My message is index 1. This is called zero-based indexing. Oh, hi, Nick Raptor. Thank you for joining me on my stream as well. You're the best. So let me get this window back again. There we go. So either way, you can do it one or both ways. So with what you see the information on line 36 and 37, what do you think you will need to do? And go ahead, do it to get X in this message.
Oh, to get X into the message.
Yeah, so you can see what X is. I believe that was what your question was, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was. I'm just gonna go. I want to just like completely update this anyway. So let's
do it. Do it. It's your code.
That name is killed. Then I want to do that. Then I go X. That. Let's go with that for now. Okay, now I go over here. I go dot.
It looks like you have to. No, yeah, keep going. Don't listen to me.
And then equals. And comma. So then I would want to do.
You're doing good so far. Just let you know. So
X.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Equals X.
Not 2 equals, just 1.
Equals, so it equals X.
Yes. Go ahead, rename that X to something else.
Okay.
In the string, because I don't know if that would work. I think it will, but I'm not sure. There you go. Yeah, just number works. Cool. So we're gonna then delete. Yes.
Wait, there's. Okay, yeah, no, because I was just double checking because there was 2 brackets here, so I was like, oh, okay, that one's from way back there.
Yeah, so I think that works. Why don't you press run and we'll see what happens.
Right, run is
top.
There.
By the way, I love this because this is actually used to like interview people. I have the end interview button, and I can rate my candidate.
How is this candidate doing that you are reviewing?
It
seems
good.
he has failed.
We are in an infinite loop right now. Actually, nothing is being printed.
Yep.
Why is nothing being printed? God damn it. Hold on. Variables. Yeah, that's how we did variables, right? X is equal to something. See, this is what programming is. Yeah, this is what programming is. We just get to figure it out. So, all right, that's... Oh, it ended. It didn't print anything out. Oh, that's weird. Why? It didn't print anything out. So if we go like this, right? If we go print before while and run that. Oh, nothing ran as well. Okay.
What's going on?
So before this, my question is this then. Okay, print before ASIGN It's probably kind of runtime, I'm guessing. Okay, what did I add that's making this hate me? Is this just not working at all?
Well, actually, hang on. Let's try this.
Okay.
So, something is like, it's really not liking it.
All right, here's what we're going to do. Yes.
Oh, actually, I got an idea.
Okay.
Let's see if, maybe because it's not at the top. Nope. Okay, that's the end of my thought process.
Alright, fine then. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. Because I changed it to Python 3, so we're in Python 3. What the hell? Okay, none of this is working. That's so weird. Why isn't anything showing up? Because it should. This is how print works. Hold on. Yeah, that doesn't work either. This is really interesting. I have no idea what's going on right now. Because this is what we did oh, here's what I can do. Codebunk. Go on there. I need to go to... I need to review my previous codebunk. Nope, that's not what I need. Hold on. So if I just go to Python 3, print. Interesting. I'm on a fresh Python, a fresh codebunk, and that's not working. So
if it were C family, I'd ask about missing semicolons. Yeah, unfortunately, I believe there's no semicolons in Python 3.
No, there's no semicolons. Like, I'm in C# right now, and it's correct, and it's not. Nothing's printing out.
Think codebunk's broken?
Maybe. It might be, but that's really weird that it's broken. Codebunk. Frequently asked questions. Codebunk. What is private bunk? What is your session? How much does a session cost? Jesus Christ. Okay, what are teams? Pricing? No. That doesn't help at all. That's so interesting that it's not working. Because if I go like this, right? Yeah, you can see that. That says that.
Yeah. It should be printing up here, right? Oh, wait, we can't even input anything in the top screen like we could before.
Oh,
which is...
You know what? Let's do this really quickly. I'm trying on Firefox because I wonder if I open it there, if that'll work. Because I don't know if I used Firefox or if I used something else before. You belong to the following teams. I have 5 bunks. Untitled Python 3 me. That was yesterday. Create bunk. Because if this works, I'll just have you come over here to a different one. Run. Yeah, no, it doesn't work on my other bunk on Mozilla Firefox. So I have no idea what's going on right now. That's so weird. All right then. Maybe it is. We're gonna do this then. Online collaborative. Code editor. Online text editor. Collab edit. Code share.
So if I were making something on my own, just with coding, is there a work environment like this, like a program that I could use other than, you know, like Notepad?
I bet there are plenty of Python IDEs out there, but if there's not, you would have to, you would have to, use Notepad++ to write and have something else that would input those Python scripts. I think there would be. I just don't know at the moment.
Okay. And did you change it to Python or Python 3?
It's right now on Python 3. I'm trying something else.
Okay. Well, I'm watching your screen while you're trying.
Man, I'm so... Fuck you. I'm so glad you guys can't see my keyboard.
But they can see
Oh no. Spam me. Okay. There we go. So if I go to this, can I execute? Editor settings, plain text, syntax, Python. Do you have Python 3? Cool.
I wonder. Nope. Give me a second.
Okay, have fun.
I just realized I had something up that would actually show my address.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Aha, I think I found where I need to go. Oh god. Jesus Christ. Alright, well I'm not gonna I'm gonna do okay, so I'm gonna do this really quickly. Can I go back? Hold on, back. Try demo.
Okay, so let's start a demo. So recent broadcast.
So if I do this. So yeah, this is sometimes what happens where it just won't work. So it's 737. This is one. Is this one I'm looking for? That has the.
Oh.
Yes.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I just decided to look at our previous one to see.
Yeah, and that's what I tried, and it's totally not working.
Oh.
It's like if you go to C, it just says you're running code, which is not. Oh god! Unless it's like I have no more free sessions, but I do. Well, I wish I could have figured this out beforehand. Okay, then here is what we are going to do instead.
Okay.
Because we need to get working. We are just going to print things out, and we're going to hope to God we're correct, because you're here to learn. So we're not going to have an interpreter. We're not going to have it run. We're just going to do this and hope to God we are correct. Okay. Like unless there's, hold on, 1 second, online code execution. We'll have caps lock on. Cool. Will you allow me to use Python? This one. And if we go to that. Submission queued. Where's the output? Oh, it's down below. System error. Syntax error, invalid syntax. Okay, we got something. It's not the best, but... Okay, so do we just need this then? Just gonna do this. Before we do this, let's just comment this out, because we might just have to do it on here right now. But you can't, this is not a collaborative environment though.
Okay.
But, I mean, if you can write code, okay, successfully executed. So if you print something, I mean, right now it would be basically like if it works, you would have to write code in the code bunk. Cool, that does work. Okay, cool. Wonderful. So here's what we're going to do. So we can start learning. We're going to write code in here, and then we can hop over to the code, compile, and run. So I'll send you. I'd be sending you a link on chat.
Okay.
.codechef.com/ID.
I got it anyways, don't worry.
Okay. Like serious. So I guess go ahead. Yeah, so
we'll see what it is.
Okay.
Actually, hang on a second. I'm just going to create this into my own personal one. Like session there, downsize this.
That is cool background.
Thank you.
And it's so clean. Like, take a look at mine. Like, I have everything everywhere, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that would irritate me to no end.
Yeah, it irritates some people. So I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to just basically write in CodeBunk, so it's collaborative. And when we want to run it, we can both go to Code Chef. So when I ran it last time, our fancy code, it gave me that there's a syntax error.
Okay.
And it says where it's in the dots. So when I look at format on learn X in Y minutes, there it actually looks like there's the overarching parentheses. So from what I've seen, it's actually supposed to be that, if this works for me. That didn't work though. All right, hold on. No, I don't want to save. Let's Z out of this. Okay, there we go. Nope. Control Y. So it should look like that. So it looks like what we need is, there we go, like something like that.
Okay.
Let's see if this works. So yeah, next time before we do this, I'll take a look at CodeBunk and try to figure out what's wrong. Oh, there we go. So run it and take a look.
Okay, it's submitting. Oh, and it goes below.
Yeah, it's below.
Undeclared identifier X.
What? What did you? Oh, oh, I see. You're in the the Dropbox above. That says PAS something.
Yeah.
Change that to Pyth 3.6. It's near the bottom.
Near the bottom? Okay.
Yes.
Pyth 3.6. Okay.
Yeah, click on Pyth 3.6. It's near the bottom.
All right. And run.
There we go. Okay. Wonderful. Now try it again.
Okay. It's running. There we go.
There we go.
It only got, and I only got to 4. Okay.
Exactly. So it starts at 0 and it goes to 4, because once it gets to 5, the test, the X is less than 5, comes back false, because 5 is equal to 5.
So if I really want to do it, it would be like the way I want it. It would be like this, and then I'd want it to be like this, so it goes from killed 1 to 6.
Yes, you would have to go 1 to 6. Can you edit it in CodeBunk?
Yeah, I'll do that in a second.
Thank you.
So it'd be boom, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yes, that is what you be needing. And sweet. So let's go ahead over back to CodeBunk. But yeah, good job. You have that. So the while loop has three parts. Every while loop has this part. It has an initialization. So I bet I spelled this wrong. An initialization. I hope this works. It has a test. It has an update. So this is a while loop. You'd use this to be like, I don't know how. So basically, X is less than 6. It's a very simple loop, we can tell kind of when it ends. You know, if you trace through it, we know it's going to be like, hey, this is going to run 5 times, and it's going to print this. But if the while loop gets bigger, or there might be stuff like, you know, a game, we could say, we don't know how many times this loop needs to run, so we use a while loop until some condition is false. So how a while loop works is basically we have the initialization, we hit the test, we go down here, we update, and then we go to the test again. So, Azmodan, tell me, what do you think would happen if we didn't have line 4?
It would just continue indefinitely.
It would. You are very correct. Cool. So now we have another kind of loop. We have a while loop, and then we have another loop called a for loop, F-O-R. And basically the difference between a while loop and a for loop is the initialization, the test, and update are all in the same place. And the reason why basically most people use a for loop because the for loop is more of a, I know the test is going to run X many times. It's a bit easier. So I need to quickly, I think I know how for loops work. But I'm just going to make sure because I know Python's weird with loops. I just need to find it because doing a control F for for doesn't really work. All right, for I in range, for I in range. Okay. Of course, it's really fancy. So, you know, I'm just gonna try this. We're gonna see if it happens. So if I go to for, I'm gonna use y is equal to 0. Oh, I don't think this will work at all. All right, so in most languages that are not Python, a for loop would look like this: for x is equal to 0. I'm gonna add semicolons. X is less than 6. X is equal to x plus 1. Oh my god! Don't worry about these right now. Print. So, in most other languages, x is equal to 0 is the initialization, x is less than 6 is the test, and x equals x plus 1 is the update. So as you can see, everything we need for the loop is in one place.
Yeah.
The loop, we could make it different, you know, make the while loop, but here's the for loop. So I don't know if Python accepts this syntax, and I'm not willing to try it. So we're going to do this instead. We're going to do what Python wants us to do. So if we do a simple, so remember how I talked about functions last time? Well, those are coming back. I'm going to call this y. So range 4 will basically, I believe, print out, I think, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And basically each number that range outputs is stored in y. So we could then do this, print y. Now if we take this, and you can, you know, copy it and paste it into your code chef, it should print out on each line just a number. Okay. If I'm correct. It does. Okay, that works. And so you should
0,
get
1, 2, 3, 4.
0 through 4. So that's how it works. That's
0 through 3.
0 through 3. So this is how for loops work. You can also use it with a list, which we'll get to later. But this is how basically for loops. So the two kind of basic loops are we have a while loop and a for loop. A while loop we mostly always use when we don't know how many times the loop needs to run. We use a for loop when we know how many times the loop needs to run. Okay, so we finally got everything we needed. We might not be able to get the guessing game done because of that fiasco that we had with the code bunk, which I need to figure out. But now we kind of have everything we need to make a game. A better game. A game that's awesome. Okay. We're going to do the code guessing game. And we're going to make it so the computer No, so where you will guess the computer's number. So, in order to do this, we need to, we need to get a random number that we will guess. We need to then, once we get a random number that we will guess, we need to then, what do we do? It's basically a while loop. We need to then guess until we win. There, that's it. We need to step 1, get a random number. 2, 10, guess until we win.
Okay.
This is basically what we need to do. So now let's break. Let's break these 2 steps down. We're gonna leave get a random number that we will guess out right now. We will first start. So basically, we're gonna take line 10, guess until we win, and we're gonna break it down into smaller steps. Because the key for a software engineer is to handle complexity. And to that, we're gonna break things down into smaller steps. So on line 12. So you know how, like, to give you a real world example, here's how to bake a cake. Get ingredients, put ingredients together, put in the oven. 3 steps to bake a cake. And technically I'm correct. But if we wanted to break it down, we would have to be like, go to the store, grab ingredients, put wet ingredients in bowl, put dry ingredients in bowl, mix together, put it into a cake thing, put in the oven, set oven to this time, bake for X many minutes, take out. It's the same thing. We end up with a cake, but it's just more steps. But as you can see, the more steps are more well defined. That's what we're aiming for. So in this game of you think of a number and I keep guessing your number and you tell me if I'm high or low, what kind of are the steps we need to go through kind of with the computer to do this?
Well, if we're going to do for the guessing part, we first need an input for that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sorry, go ahead. Have fun.
Okay, so to do the input, I'm trying to remember from last time. I think it's just we start with like an input like this, and then...
Hold on. You are going in the correct location. However, I want to take a guess until we win and break that down into English sentences that define a smaller step in the process.
Okay, well, obviously we need an input from the user.
Correct.
And
so go ahead.
Also would want it to be within a certain like area. Like, let's say if we make a random number, it'll be between 1 and 1,000, let's say.
Yes. So before that, before we get this, so we've already got a random number that we will guess. The computer's already generated the random number. We're gonna get there later. The first part we're gonna do is just guess until we win, and then we're gonna go back to how to get a random number.
Okay, so then we input a number. It will give us feedback of higher or lower. Then we guess another number, and then we get another feedback of higher or lower.
Very correct. So take that and put those into comments. So basically, comment it out, write it down, and then we'll be able to kind of see a pattern to what we're trying to aim for. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Correct. That sounds great. So, input a number, get a number that's higher or lower, get a return that's higher or lower, and then guess another number. Cool. So, perfect. That's what we're looking for. And we can actually now, and so we guess a number. So really, this keeps going until we guess the correct number, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of loop do you think we need? Because we don't know how many times we need this to loop.
Yeah, so I guess it would be the if?
That is the condition. We have the while loop and the for loop.
Oh, sorry, I'd say it's while.
You are correct. Why do you think it's while?
Because for is for when you know how many times it's going to come back. While is better for we don't know how anything other than it's just this is what we need it until.
Yep, you are so correct. Good job, Mr. Azmodan, sir. So, now we need to set up. So, the three parts of a while loop are the initialization, the test, and the update. Lucy, can you not do that? Can you just not shake your head and shake your collar because you're so damn cute? So, the initialization. When do we know that the loop is done? When do we, before that, when do we know we need to stop guessing?
Well, that's when the input matches the random number.
Yes. So, yes. So, how do we capture that? We use a Boolean variable because it's true or false.
So, that'd be, for example, I got rid of while apparently. Oops.
That's fine.
While.
Before we get to while, we're at a step before while. How do we store? So we would store Boolean if we have guessed the correct number. If we haven't guessed the correct number, we keep looping. If we have guessed the correct number, we don't loop anymore. So we should
need to have a setup of like rando equals then whatever the number is, like whatever the code we're going to use to generate the number.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I'm just going to leave that like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll also need the input, and then, which I can't remember how we're going to put it. I think that's going to be...
Yeah, no worries. We'll go totally figure out what the input is later. Just keep going. Keep going with your thought process.
While... crap, I completely forgot how while worked again.
That's... Here, let me update. There, take a look at line 2.
Okay, thank you.
As you're more welcome.
So, while, so it'd be... While input... Or... Yeah. Or, actually, I'm going to change this to guess.
That is better. Good job. Yes.
So, while guess does not equal rando.
Mm-hmm. So you need to do a tab. The tab's key, not spaces. Tab. I think. I just use tab.
Oh. Okay.
So on line 17, you would do a tab.
Okay, so then 17 and you tab.
Mm-hmm. And from here, you can just put do the game or something. We'll get into what the while loop is. But let's have a place. Do the game. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. So what we did was we basically took guess until we win. On line 12, we broke that down into more of a longer English sentence, but with finer steps. And then from there, we can take input a number, and we can actually now kind of turn input a number into code. We can turn the get the return of higher or lower in code. We can get the guess another number into code. So this is kind of called the pseudocode programming practice, where pseudocode is basically the English description of what you want the code to do. And then this way we can think about what we need to do more in English terms, and then we can try and finally transform it into code.
Okay.
So that's what we did here. So now we have the random number, which we will eventually get to how to get a random number. We have the guess, which is the input. And we're going to assume, again, right now that the user will input everything correctly, and we don't have to worry about, like, in case it's incorrect, in case they give us a string, in case they give us characters, stuff like that. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to assume that they give us what we're looking for. So now that we're here, now, so we have the initialization, which will be on line 14 and 15. We have the test, which is on line 16. Now we need to... Oh, sorry. The line 16 involves both the test and... Oh, sorry. Losing myself. Now we need to update. So we need to then get another guess.
Yeah.
And so we basically reassign guess to a new guess. So we do something like this. We would go guess equals just get guess. Something like that. So there we go. Now we have all the parts of the while loop. We have the initialization, line 14 and 15, the test on line 16, and then the update on line 18. So now, before we go any further, we can actually walk through this test and make sure it's correct. And by correct, we have to make sure it does what we expect it to do. Because there is a difference between it runs successfully and does what we need it to do, and it runs successfully and it doesn't do what we need to do.
Okay.
That is a big thing. So I'm going to kind of I'm going to walk through one scenario. Well, I'm going to walk through a scenario. So line 14, the computer generates a random number that we need to guess. Line 15, the user guesses. We get the first guess from the user. While guess does not equal random, and we're going to right now say it doesn't, we do the game. So this is like, you know, oh, your guess is too high. Go lower. And the user would enter something low. And so line 18 would then get another guess that would hopefully be lower, but the user can put in whatever they want. So then it would go back to 16. If the guess does not equal rando, we do the same thing again. Now let's say we get to line 18 and the guess does equal the random number. Once we get to the test on line 16, it'll go, oh, the guess does equal the random number, and lines 17 and 18 will not execute because the test is now... Somebody followed me. Who did follow me, by the way? Somebody followed me. I need to think.
Dexter.
Who? Dexter. Dexter, thank you so very much for the follow. You're awesome. So now let's say in line 16, our guess equals the random number. So that means the while loop does not execute. And then from there, we will then go to line 19 or wherever the next code is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So now that we have this general code flow, how it works, and then here's the other thing. Because line 16, basically since the while loop we keep executing until the user has guessed the correct number, once we get out of the while loop and get below it, we can assume that the user has guessed the correct number.
Okay.
And that's something, so that's more about assumptions that we'll get into later. But, so, now, let us get a random number. We need to generate a random number and store it in it. And so can you do me a favor, Mr. Azmodan, sir?
Okay.
Can you go onto your favorite search engine and probably type something like Python get random number? Because at the moment, I don't even know how to get a random number in Python.
Okay.
I guess I should search it up too. And so a nice site for programming questions like this is actually Stack Overflow, but sometimes Stack Overflow is not the first answer, which is totally fine.
Well, what I found was, oops. Yeah. Okay, it was that.
Correct. That works.
So I just want to, okay, because I already have that, I'm just going to throw that into Code Chef and run it. Because it's going to print out the random number for us. Trace back, most recent call, invalid syntax.
Random.randint. That might be because this is Python, a different Python. Because Python 2 and Python 3.6.
I did Google Python 3, but it looks like it just gave me Python.
Oh, this says 3.7.4. Okay, hold on. Is there no, like, how to actually do this? I see. From random import choices. Oh my god. That's not what and it sucks because sometimes you'll find something like, here's all the stuff on how to do this, but not actually like code that tells you how to do something. Let's try that. Hold on. Random.random. Ah, I think that's what we need. Is this how it works? I think I figured it out. If this is running. Oh, runtime error. Okay, import random. Run? Because yeah, you know, random number is something we will need first. And this is a lot of programming. Ah, okay, I figured it out.
Okay.
We would do this is random.randint. So we do random.random according to this website right here at the bottom.
Okay. So if I did this, see, I started to get that.
That's fine. I've done like 6 years of searching on the internet.
It's still not working. Invalid syntax.
Can you? What did you just? Oh, you just did random.random. Because I think no, if you want a number between something, randint 1 to 10. I think actually what I gave you actually worked. It should have. Hold on. Oh, you know what? Print needs parentheses, remember?
Right, it does.
So try that, what I put in.
I still got an error, but it's a lot less of an error. Type random parentheses, no arguments.
Oh yeah, random doesn't take arguments, so you would want to do a randint, R-A-N-D-I-N-T. You can actually take a look at the code bunk. Actually, before you take a look at the code bunk, don't take a look at the code bunk. Do what I did. And here now, you can take a look at the code bunk once I update this.
I changed random to the second random in random.random. So it's now random.randint.
Yes.
1,101, and now I got a heck of a lot. So I guess that's range of 10, right? So we don't want range of 10, we want range of 1. So we only want it once, right?
Randint, so if you have like a 1, 10, we're going to integer from 1 to 10 to the endpoints are included. So 1 to 101 would be 1 to 101. So it basically...
Okay.
Yes. Whatever range you're looking for.
So this is what we basically want, because we only want one random number.
We want one random number, so we wouldn't put it in a for loop, but we want a random number between number 1 and 100 or something.
Yeah, so we'd want... So instead of having a for loop here, we would have import random.
Mm-hmm.
But we wouldn't want it, obviously, we wouldn't want it to print.
We'd want it to assign it to a variable.
So this would be, instead of it being here, so just delete that for now. Let's do x equals.
Correct, but we already have a variable on line 14 for that, don't we?
Wait. Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Rando. So rando equals random dot rand int.
Yes.
So this and do I need to do a
copy line? No. Remove that tab. Copy line 20 and 21.
Okay.
And then paste it over line 14.
Line 14.
Yeah. So highlight all 14 and just paste. There you go. That's what we're looking for.
Okay.
So to give you a quick import is basically like, so remember we spoke at libraries a bit before last episode. Import is saying, hey, there's this library called random. I want to import it into my code so I can call what you have on your library.
Okay.
I don't know the effects of code size or code execution time or anything like that. I just know that's what it is. So now we have the random number that they want to guess between numbers 1 and 101. Now 100. So now we need to get the guess.
Okay. And guess is going to be an input.
Correct. But we have something a bit more because we want to guess and then convert that to an integer.
Yes.
So I'm just searching Python 3.6 get input and convert to integer, and the first thing I get is a Stack Overflow question. Python 3's input so we have to explicitly convert int to an ints. I see. Okay. So what we basically have to do is before we get the input, so you remember how input works, right? Just with the input keyword.
Yeah.
So what I found is basically would have to just basically that input, and then we do like enter any number. And so on line 16, enter number tells the user to enter a number. And then we basically get that number back as a string. And then we use the word int, or int, which stands for integer, to convert that string to an integer. And that is stored in guess. Now, guess does not equal rando should do what we need it to do. So, before we go any further, we can test to make sure what we have kind of works. So basically we want to test two things. We want to test, basically we want to be test correctly and we want to test incorrectly. So by that I mean we want to test to make sure our guess does not equal the random number and our guess does equal the random number.
Okay.
So what we can do to do that, because we're developers so we can cheat, we're going to do this. Print the number to guess is computer. And there. Now we can actually see what the computer's guess is. And then this way, since we know what the computer's guess is, we can now enter the number that we know is correct or not.
Okay, so copy paste over to this. Run.
It should work.
Output runtime error NZEC. Trace back file EOF.
End of file.
End of file.
Error file name rando is not defined. What do you mean rando is not defined? We just did that. Rando is defined. Oh, because I didn't paste anything. That's why it's not working. Let me paste this first. And see, this is what happens when you get more into like bigger programs is you have to start testing everything. There we go. Enter number. End of file when reading line. Oh, it didn't. Wait.
Didn't take the input.
Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me see something here. Run. I think I know what's going on. Okay, so next to the run button, to the left, it says custom input. Click that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then from there, basically, it's when it needs to get input, it's going to take the first number we give it.
Okay.
So, however, the only problem with this is we don't know what the random number is off the top of our head. We can't figure it out. So what we could do is, so there's one way to fix this, which is instead of making a random number, we can actually just say on CodeBunk, we can go like this, and then we can just say we can actually assign it the value of like 10. And that way we know what rando is. And now we can test this to be like, does the loop go in? Does the loop not go in? And we can test that way.
Okay, so go to here, put that 10, put the input, run. Running. The number to guess is 10. Enter a number, blank. And then the input is 10. It doesn't really put anything.
Yeah, because we don't have anything that says like print if you're in the while loop, print when you're not in the while loop anymore. Sure. We don't have any of that. So, Azmodan, I think we found a good place to stop right now.
Okay.
We actually got a lot, good for you keeping up, and good, thank you for your help on trying to figure things out. So what we got done was we looked at while loops. We looked at for loops. We looked at the 3 parts of a loop, so the initialization, the test, the update. We started to do some pseudocoding for line to basically start to figure things out. Basically, we have to take an idea and break it down. So this is the same thing like when I was doing maze generated in C#, I had to be like, I'm going to make a maze. All right, now I need to break that down into smaller steps that I can write down in code. And then we started with a number guessing game. So we made it so the computer can guess a random number. We made it so we can get a guess. We set up the while loop. And now next episode, we'll probably finish this out, hopefully with CodeBunk running.
Okay.
So here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to take all of this, and I am going to save it to my desktop as Azmodan code. And so that way, when we come back, we have the code. So yeah. Guys, thank you. Azmodan, thanks for being with us. I hope you're learning something. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, Azmodan, if you want, you can continue with this outside of these episodes if you want. You are not required to do this here.
Probably will like try and fiddle around. But is there like, if you know a good way, like a good environment that I can work on things on my own that is very much like CodeBunk, because I actually like the setup for CodeBunk.
I can research IDEs and let you know offline.
That would be greatly appreciated.
And I can figure those out. I'll have to take some time because I don't even have Python installed on my computer right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll figure those out offline. But yeah, so I guess I'll just do my outro first. Everyone, lurkers who are lurking, thank you for lurking. Watchers who are watchers, thank you so very much for watching. Bots who are botters, thank you so much for botting. This was fun. We learned a lot. We learned about while loops, for loops. We learned about the 3 parts of a loop. And we started to do the random number guessing game. If you guys at home want an extra challenge, you can actually kind of reverse this and go, you guess the starting number, and the computer actually has to guess what your number is. And Azmodan, do you have anything you want to say to your people who are watching?
Thanks to everybody for coming by. Thank you, Fireball. I'm just going to keep calling you Fireball.
It's okay, call me Fireball. That's fine. I don't care.
Okay, thank you, Fireball, for teaching me. This is actually quite informative.
Oh, Moonman. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I'm going to be back in I'm going to be shutting down the stream for about 5 minutes after this, and then after the 5 minutes, I will be back for Persona 5. I just got to put my kid to bed first.
I thought you already did that.
He's currently staring at me from the over by in the hallway.
All right.
Just like a creepy kid, just like standing in the hallway staring at me.
Well, then you should probably do that.
Yeah.
All right, Azmodan. See you later.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming by.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
Mm-hmm. And Moonman, I'm sorry I totally didn't see you say hello there. I was too busy coding. But thank you so much for joining me. I don't know when you joined exactly, but thank you so very much for joining. And yeah, so sorry about that, but everyone, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all next time. Bye.